Big Z Reviews. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is the newest Marvel Disney film that just came out. And I enjoyed it, but it had so much to do, and it had so many complications that I didn't love it as much as I did the first one.
I am queen of the most powerful nation in the world, and my entire family is gone. Have I not given everything?
So this is once again written and directed by Ryan Coogler, and it has all the cast returning, especially Letitia Wright, Lupita Nyong'o, Daniel Gurria, Winston Duke, and Angela Bassett. And then they also introduce Tana Huerta as Namor and Dominique Thorne as Riri, or Ironheart. She's like the newest Iron Man that the comics did. And personally, I think my biggest problem with the film is that I'm not the biggest fan of Letitia Wright as Shuri. Like, there's a lot of shenanigans with her, like, in filming this, where she's like a COVID denier and an anti-masker and an anti-vaxxer, and she said a lot of stupid shit. And then also, more than that, Shuri, she's kind of like the annoying sidekick character. She's like Black Panther's Q, if you're for James Bond. And she's like the little sister, the genius little sister that quips and is like, and I kind of works for that, but then, for Wakanda Forever, the whole movie is on her shoulders. And I mean, she does okay for it. It's just, I think it kind of hampered my enjoyment of it because I don't love her character. And I mean, for this, I will do some light spoilers, but I'm not gonna spoil any main things. But I think to talk about what I liked and didn't like, I kind of have to spoil who Black Panther is, in the new film. But I feel like if you watched the trailer, you know who it is. They didn't specifically tell you, but the body type of the Black Panther is pretty obvious who it could only be. But similar to the comics, when Black Panther died, Shuri, Black Panther's sister, takes up the mantle. And, this does that in the film. And I know it's just the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman. I mean, that must have been so tough for every single part of this film. Because like Ryan Coogler, he said that he had just finished the script for the sequel to Black Panther when he found out when Chadwick died. So we had to rewrite the whole thing, and I think doing it so that the characters in the movie are also, grieving for T'Challa, the same way that the real actors were grieving for Chadwick, it works really well. But I think that it's just, when the movie has so much to do, and I mean, it's a long movie, it's almost 3 hours long, but it still feels like it almost could have been longer. And I heard that there's like a director's cut of this film, because it feels like there's some stuff I wanted to see more of than other stuff, like about the grieving and trying to build characters for Letitia Wright. Like, a lot of that is slow, and I didn't really care about it that much. And it's like it's kind of drags down the film a bit. And there's not that much action. Like, there's some of it, but there's like less than I expected, actually. And I feel like, the whole film, you miss Chadwick. You miss that he was so impressive as Black Panther. And that for most of the movie, you don't have a Black Panther. You only get a Black Panther like right before the end. And I think that it's tough. I enjoyed the film. I did not hate it. And I think it's a good movie. And I think it doesn't have the issue that the first movie had, which is like an almost perfect movie, but then the kind of a crappy, like fight scene at the very end. The big climactic fight is like PlayStation 3 graphics. And but like this doesn't have that. Like the special effects are all amazing, and the climactic fights that in for this one are really good. But I think it's just I don't know, and I think because there's so much to do. You have the grieving of Black Panther, you have the building up of Letitia Wright and the whole other characters, and Angela Bassett, the mother as Ramonda. She is probably the heart of this film, and she is amazing in it. But like there's just a lot to do, because then you also have to introduce Tenoch Huerta as Namor, and he's like there's this whole thing where he has like there's like a Mayan or Aztec Mayan, I think it was Mayan version of Wakanda, where their version of the vibranium infused plants that they gave to themselves, like it made them like fish people. And like Namor is like it's supposed to be like the first mutant, but he like when the mother had it, the plant when she was pregnant, and it gave him special powers. And I like Tenoch Huerta, but I think it's just he's like too evil, but then they don't give him a reason for why he's like that. Like they have some like background scenes, like flashbacks, like explaining, what his whole deal is, but you don't get to see why he wants to destroy the world. Because I feel like if they made it, I wish they hadn't made his goals so evil. Because I think his character could have been less evil and it still would have worked perfectly. Because like he once, the American government is like searching for vibranium in the ocean, and they accidentally find their city, and so they kill the ship that makes it, that found it, and so there's a lot of shenanigans in there, like because you came out and everyone now wants vibranium and it's endangering my people, and we have two options: either I go to war with you and kill your entire civilization, or you join with us and we go to war with the rest of the world. And it's like, it's just, the ultimatum is just too much. I also feel like, I missed, in the first one, it introduced that like futuristic African cityscape and culture that was so amazing. And I kind of didn't get enough of it in this one. And I feel like you could have done more of that with like the Mayan culture. But the problem is, when they're in the city, they're just a bunch of people floating in CGI water, a bunch of blue people floating in CGI water, which Cameron's probably not going to be too happy about with his Avatar movie coming out at Christmas. But I feel like if they would have done more, like showing you the culture of these people and having them be cool, having them not be evil, I think it would have helped the movie a lot. And I think too, I feel like if you cut other stuff out of the film, I liked Dominique Thorne as Riri, or Ironheart. I don't think they called her that, but that's her in her comic name. But she like that some of the stuff is cool with her, but I wish that her character takes up like half an hour of the movie, and then there's some cool action scenes around her. But I feel like, I feel like her suit at the end just looks like a cartoon. I didn't love it, but it's okay. It was kind of cool, but I feel like if you have done less with her, or done less with some of the other stuff and cut other parts of the film, you could have had more time with Letitia Wright, Shuri, in the city with Namor, exploring it. And I feel like I needed more time with this to care about them. I think too it would have been interesting if but I know they do a little bit of it with like the Lupita Nyong'o as Nakia, like she's like the spy, and Angela Bassett gets her to try to save Shuri, And like when she gets there, she kills one of the guards when they're escaping, and it's like that's like, but the thing is, like I feel like Namor didn't really care because he was already going to attack Wakanda. But I think that if Shuri had more time in this city and began to like, the problem with that too though is that she can't really explore the city because she's in this like gigantic diving suit. So it's like can she really explore the city when she's in that suit? You know, that I think that's kind of a mistake too. But I feel like if they had more time and she kind of grew to love the people or to see them more as just enemies, like I think it would have helped. And then even they could have had Nakia when she goes there to save them, if she kills more of them, saving them, and then that's the reason why Namor attacks Wakanda. And maybe even it could be like he doesn't want to destroy the rest of the world, but he wants to team up with Wakanda and to protect them, each other. You know, form a pact, a bond, like to protect them from the rest of the civilization. You know, I feel like that. But then he felt betrayed when she escapes. You know, and that's what happened. Like you could even do more of like almost like a romantic angle with them or something. But I feel like they even talk about the whole like Namor means like no love. And that, like, so, I mean, I feel like they could have done a tragic version of his character, like, gone more to it. Because, like, it sounds like he's been there for 400 years or something like that. And, like, all the other ones are not like him. You know, they all view him as, like, a god. So, like, I mean, I'm sure in the time he's had his loved ones have all died. And, like, so that I feel like they need a more characterization for him. But like, you know, but at the same time, you know, when Shuri and Danai Gurira as Okoye, like they're going on their adventures, like it is charming, you know, and I like him a lot, and it's funny, and she has some great action, and like some of the other I don't know what they're called, the other fish people, like there's like the one guy with like a hammerhead shark skeleton on his head, he's pretty cool. And like his other like chieftain is a woman that like is kind of cool, and like there are some cool characters. I wish I knew who they were, and that instead of just like people that you saw them fighting, you know. The only problem with that criticism is that I want to see more stuff, but the movie is already kind of bloated. So like, what do you cut? And I think that's just a tough thing. I think one easy part to cut is everything with Martin Freeman. Just completely get rid of it. That'll give you like 10-15 minutes. Martin Freeman and Elaine from Seinfeld. Just take that out of the film and you have a little extra time. But like, I don't know, but when I finished the movie, it's like, I was just like, people were clapping as I drove like 2 hours to see an IMAX. And it was like people were clapping, and it was like, yeah, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it, you know? I kind of feel like almost all of the Marvel films in this cycle of Marvel, this Phase 4, except for Spider-Man, which I'm not sure might be considered the end of Phase 3, they've all been fine. I think, like, all of these films have been fine. Like, I've enjoyed them, but I haven't loved any of them. And that's too bad. Because they're not bad films, they're enjoyable, and I have a lot of fun with seeing them, but I don't know, like, I mean, Black Panther, the original one, is such a massive film, and it was so amazing, and this movie, Wakanda Forever, is in no means bad, but I didn't love it as much, you know. I don't know, like, I would recommend seeing it, but it's not going to be one of my favorite films of the year. I definitely want to see it again and see what I think of it, like, on a rewatch, but I don't know, I might give like an 8 out of 10 or 7.75 out of 10. But thanks for watching. If you want to see more of me, you can subscribe down below. Thanks.